Welcome back to another Worthless Mutts. This is where I give my perspective, my insight, my opinions, and I show you the facts and the stats regarding this dog culture. Because within this dog culture, it's a culture that is hiding in plain sight. Not a lot of people know about the deaths that happen every day by these dogs. Not a lot of people know that these dogs are entering hospitals, killing babies. Not everyone knows about the children, the seniors that have been attacked by dogs. Many of the average person doesn't know about these stories. And the only things that they know in this dog culture is man's best friend. Dogs are loyal, and I have a dog. Not me. I don't have a dog, but that's just how people talk out there. They say I have a dog. Man's best friend. Dogs are man's best friend, and dogs loyal. They only know those types of things, but they don't know about the reality. My bad. They don't know. My bad. My bad. They don't know about the reality of this dog culture, and it's pretty dark. It's pretty gory. There's a lot of blood in this dog culture. There are a lot more lies, a lot more excuses, and a lot more death than there is of truth, coming from this dog culture, from the dog nutters, the dog experts. Very little tiny specks of truth. And that truth is irrelevant. That truth isn't protecting people from attacks. That truth is useless, is worthless. And what that truth is dogs have four legs. Okay. We all know that dogs have four legs. But do they know that dogs are mutants? Do they know that dogs are brain damaged mutants? That dogs are, created by man? Do they know about the dog attacks in India and Asia? Do they know about dog attacks happening worldwide? A lot of people don't know that. A lot of people don't know that dogs consist of having so much diseases. They have a lot of diseases. They don't even know that. Some of them have dogs, own dogs, have been around dogs. They've been sick. They don't know why they're getting sick. None of them would ever think it would be the dog making them sick. But truth behold, it is the dog. Because dogs are disease traps. They're disease ridden. They're full of disease and parasites, full of worms. All that, disgusting stuff. And you have these dog nutters rubbing on the dog, roping the dog, allowing the dog to drool and lick them in the face. Do they know that some people who allow their dog to lick them on their bodies have had their, limbs and body parts amputated? And they want to say, this is man's best friend? Man's best friend is getting your limbs amputated? Man's best friend is getting your children killed? Again, I am here to bring awareness to what's going on in this dog culture, in this world in general. Not a lot of people out there are doing so. Most of what you hear and see about dogs, it's all the lies, all the delusion about dogs. But I'm here to bring awareness in hopes that I could help at least one person get free of their dog's nuttery. Because I know YouTube, very useful tool. It was much better back in the day, but I've learned a lot from YouTube. From various, topics and channels and things like that. I learned a lot. And I hope, now it's like my turn. So I hope someone can learn from this. I'm showing you the facts and I'm showing what's going on. In this dog culture, again, it's a entirely different perspective that, the general audience is used to. Today's video is our vet scammers. This topic came because of a story that I read in the last video. It was because of, this dog nut thought the dog was very sick, and she put it up to be euthanized. And then years later, she found out that same dog was healthy again, up for adoption. So and throughout the article, she was paying a lot of money, where she was willing to pay even $12,000 more for this worthless mutt. But she, it was a lot cheaper. It was like $15 to euthanize the worthless mutt. So she thought it was best for the dog to just die. She left the dog at the shelter, and it's a weird rule, even for dog nut standards, that the dog nuts can't be in the room where the dog is being euthanized. It's such a weird rule. Like, even for dog nut standards, I would think even these dog nuts should be allowed in the room to see their worthless mutt, die at least. I may hate dogs. I may not like these dog owners, but I have some sympathy for them in this case, that they should be allowed to watch their dogs die. But anyways, they fast forward, this dog was put up for adoption, and I guess the shelter and veterinarians, they spent $7,000 on surgery for this worthless mutt. So this person was going all over the place, spending money, trying to figure out what's wrong with the worthless mutt. But in the end, she wants to get it killed. The shelter said they're going to kill it, but ends up, they end up saving it, So again, this made me think, are these vets scammers? And obviously, yes, they are, because this is dog culture. And vets, I would say vets don't make much money unless it's coming from dogs. Dogs have many diseases. They have many physical problems. Dogs are getting attacked every day as well. So they can make a lot of bank from dogs alone. A lot. Millions, trillions of dollars. This is a list. This is a list of dog diseases, and there's quite a bit. From viral infections to bacterial infections, fungal infections, protozoal diseases, parasites, the main one, internal parasites, external parasites. They also have, the physical problem of skeletal and muscular disorders. A lot of dogs have certain problems that they have to go through. Cardiovascular and circulatory problems, nervous system, eyes, ears, skin, and they have worthless skin. Endocrine diseases. They have gastrointestinal diseases, urinary reproductive systems. Dogs also suffer from cancers, behavioral issues, environmental issues, poisons and overdoses, miscellaneous, excuse my pronunciation, miscellaneous. And it's probably a lot more. And this is quite a bit. This is a lot. Dogs go through a lot. And this is the vets and the dog industry's money maker. They make a lot of money off of these worthless mutts. But again, the question is, are vets scams? And we're exclusively gonna be talking about just dogs exclusively, because again, this is an anti-dog hate channel where we exclusively, talk about really just dogs. We just talk about dogs and how worthless they are. Again, it's funny when these people have these, pet parades or pet conventions or whatever you want to call them. They always talk. It's always the dog on the front poster, the dog on the logo. It's always the dogs, even though they may look after every other pets and they want other pets. They're open to other pets, but they're always using the dog as a logo, dog in the poster. So this is exclusively going to be about dogs. Are vets just scammer? Are all vets just scammers? So we're going to look and see what these people have to say. They say not being up to date with doggo's vaccine tells the whole story. It's funny how you ask are all vets just scammers while exhaustively outline your interactions with exactly one veterinary clinic. It'd be like reading your story and then asking, are all dog owners just lazy? Sorry, your dog is injured. I hope the worthless mutt recovers. A lot of vets won't even see dogs that aren't regularly seen by their clinic. Mine says on the answering machine that if your dog hasn't been seen by them in the last year, they won't see them. Yeah, so it's just a little overview. People are saying, but again, they are scams. It's all about the money. You should always check your vet's reviews online to answer your question, and they say no. So we're going to dive into a few stories today. A few articles today. And we're also going to be talking about scams in general. First one right now, it says, attempting scam targets dog lovers. Police say in new warning. Again, the nicknames of like man's best friend, fur baby. It's clear these dog nuts really love their worthless mutts, especially here in the US of A. According to the American Veterinary Medical Association, nearly 40% of Americans, or more than 48 million households, have a worthless mutt running around, and not just in their house, but also in the public. Unfortunately, scammers are always looking for new avenues to exploit, and it's so easy to exploit these dog nutters. It is so easy to exploit dog nutters. Easy peasy. And now they're taking advantage of dog lovers, and they've always been taking advantage of them. And it's been done like this since the beginning of this, dog culture. Like, this is like probably over 100 years now that they've been scamming people. I read, years ago that in New York, they would drown dogs in the river, and the thing was the East River. So they would, kill these stray dogs. But then fast forward, all of a sudden now they want to keep these things because they're making money off them. Not just with the vets, but with, other materials. We got food, you have all the other crap. And on Facebook, they always have some these weird dog businesses where you can rent your house for dogs, rent your backyard to dogs, clothes, and it's ridiculous. Again, shoot a warning about a scam that might be too tempting to avoid, because again, dogs are so easy. They also add scammers are always trying to find new ways to trick dog nutters. And as schemes evolve over time, authorities do their best to sound the alarm. Back in May, police in Connecticut and North Carolina started warning residents that they had been receiving reports about scammers using spoofing technique to impersonate police officers. Now, the new scam now is targeting dog lovers, and they've always been targeting dog lovers. It's just that some scams in dog culture are more acceptable than others. Social media sites like Facebook are saturated with posts about these furry friends. They need to find a forever home. They always use this, and I don't understand why they always have to use this term. Why do they always revolve around using this term? But not everything you see online may be true. This is dog culture, full of lies. In Missouri, recently issued an alert about scammers targeting dog lovers with these types of posts. We're noticing a little bit of an uptake or a trend in scams with deposits to reserve dogs. A public information officer with this department said on July 25th, adding that the department has received a shocking 3 reports in just 10 days So they're getting posts that say we're no getting yeah. So they're getting so these dog nuts are getting messages where they have to send money to reserve dogs, and these dog nuts find out that it's not true, and now they're asking for help. We hear stories over and over. People who wanted to give a pet a loving home. Again, it's so easy. So easy to trick these dog nutters. It is so easy. So easy. And then ended up with nothing. Puppy scams are leaving people without money or worthless mutts. They're talking about dogs. Again, they use pets. It's just really dogs. I'm pretty sure there's other animals out there that are used for scamming him, but we're just talking strictly about these worthless mutts. Again, they're using fake ads on social media. The seller says they require that potential buyers send a refundable deposit to hold a particular worthless mutt or make a payment for the pet to be shipped to their home. That immediate request for money is scamming some people out of anywhere from $300 to $1,400 in just a click of a button. These dog nuts are sending money on various apps. But, end of the day, it's so easy to fool these dog nuts. It is so easy. Dog culture has been so easy. You just lie, have these feel-good stories, make up stories that dogs are hurt or whatever, and these dog nuts will fall for every single one. Every one of them. Because they care so much about the worthless mutt. But yeah. And according to the American Kennel Club, my arch nemesis, red flags include sellers who prefer to handle communication by email and not by phone, photos of the dog that can be found on multiple websites. So, again, American Kennel Club, again, this is like the juggernaut, dog industry juggernaut. And on their website, they're just full of lies. They're filled with lies as well as watch for warning signs. Act this way if you want to pet a dog. All the other nonsense, and they also lie as well. They're also scammers as well. Where people send money to this club, but what do they do exactly? They just take these dog nuts' money. Are they any different from these scammers? And I don't think so. Do that after. 50 secrets your veterinarian won't tell you. It was just posted recently in April of the 9th in 2024. They say the dogs that scare me the most are the little chihuahuas. They say if you are aggressive to the staff, you will be treated differently, which can be said to any business. But again, we know that dog lovers are some of the most rude people out there. They're very rude people. So I wouldn't be surprised if they're rude to these vets as well. Most hospitals keep a comprehensive records of behavior of both the pet and of the owner. If you're aggressive to the staff, you'll be treated differently, which, is no surprise. Looking for a way to say thank you to your vet. Last year, one pet owner gave us a check of $100 or why, saying we could use it at our discretion for an animal in need. So, on top of paying thousands for a dog, they're paying more money for another worthless mutt. The reason your pet is fat is because you are too, and that's another thing with this dog culture. It's a little bit of the opposite of this. I see a lot of these dog nuts. They could be very much out of shape. They could look, not presentable. I'll keep it as that. They won't look presentable. But then you look at the dog. The worthless mutt, looks in better shape than most of these owners. So these owners are willing to give up themselves to take care of a worthless mutt, and that says a lot of the state of where these dog nuts are. Your vet hospital. You're a vet hospital, not a dog hotel. We know when you're twisting the facts. Again, dog lovers love to lie. Don't blame me if you're frugal. Owners who don't want to pay for diagnostic tests, but then cop an attitude because you don't know what's wrong with the animal, since you wouldn't let me do the blood work or x-rays. So, you take the dog in, you pay to get checked up. Then these vets, ask to do other tests for it, x-rays, whatever, and you got to pay more money on top of that. So it's like a never-ending cycle, or more like a never-ending doom. Please respect that we're trying to work. Dog nuts are just reckless. Personally, I wouldn't take my dog to a dog park. Again, not even dogs get along with dogs. Dog owners themselves don't get along with dog lovers. It's a weird culture out there. Every time I save a life, every time I fix a patient, that makes everything worth it. Again, just to save a dog could keep the money going in, though. They make more money saving a dog than killing a dog. So they're going to do their best to make sure this dog gets back to health. Just so eventually down the line, maybe not in a month or a year, that soon eventually that dog will have to come back. We don't want your pets to be in pain. You must license your dogs. I know she shouldn't have it, but you should never give pets dogs chocolate, because it's toxic to most of them. But my cat is obsessed with it and is all over me when I'm eating it. So sometimes I give her a silver, just a itsy tiny one. Itsy bitsy tiny one. Every time we help a pet, we can help a person. Pretty much you're damaging a person because you're taking their money for absolutely nothing. Again, we're just talking about dogs exclusively. When people surrender their pets because they can't afford their problems, I often end up with them. When people surrender their pets because they can't afford their problems, I often end up with them. I've got a 3-legged cat, 1-eyed cat, 3 dogs that required major surgeries, 1 goat, and 11 chickens. We'll do things for free. You get that sometimes, I guess. New staff or training students sometimes practice injections or catheter placements on your pet. I'll let you in on one secret of no-kill shelters. We had a contract with our local humane society that stated we'd euthanize the animals in the care that needed to be put down. One Sunday, they sent us 72 cats to be put down. By the end, we were all emotionally devastated. I couldn't imagine, man. Couldn't imagine, just one by one, just, watching, like cats die would be very sad, just watching birds, rabbits die and just put them to sleep one by one would be very, very sad, very, very inducing. But if it's dogs, we should always, have a good smile on our face that, hey, at least there's a lot less worthless mutts off this earth. At least now these dogs can go to their doggy heaven and stay away. At least now they're dead. So we should, put these dogs to sleep with a smile on our face. We can rarely we rarely can help with behavioral issues. Our vet may not have gotten into vet school. No regulation says vets have to check certain lists before they euthanize an animal. Your $2,000 designer dog is a mutt. It's a worthless mutt. A lot of these worthless mutts are worth thousands, even millions, but yet they remain worthless. I hate retractable leashes. Healthy pets don't need vitamins. Don't feed your pet a raw food diet. Again, they're probably just talking about dogs. I mean, dogs just have trouble eating things, like everything they have a problem with. The cheap over-the-counter spot-on flea, tick treatments are extremely dangerous. Indoor cats don't really need to be vaccinated. Don't judge your dog's health by its nose, okay? The biggest mistake pet owners make is calling the vet too late. Because again, they don't want to spend so much money on this worthless mutt. If your animal is really sick, it's better to bring him in during the morning. Unfortunately, many clinics cut corners to make a profit. Like I've been saying, it's a scam. It seems like you are only paying more at corporate-owned hospitals. At corporate-owned hospitals, you likely are. Like you're paying more at corporate-owned hospitals, you likely are. Again, it's all business. It is all business. Invest in pet insurance, another scam for these worthless mutts. Don't ask me what I make. Again, I bet I wouldn't say like the nurses per se are making. I don't know if you call them a nurse or the veterinarian, nurses, if that's a thing. I don't think they're making the most. I think whoever's making the most is the one that owns these hospitals. They're making the most. They're the ones making the bank. The entrepreneur dog vets, they're making the bank. But they'll have their pawns making a few bucks. But again, I'm pretty sure the owners, the managers are making a lot of the real bucks. The job's not easy. Always check out the staff when looking for a new vet. Always check out the staff when looking for a new vet. Okay? Giving food is not giving love. Okay? Again, with dogs, though, you can't really show them love. Because, again, they don't react to anything except food and punishment. So it's hard to show love to a dog because they don't really understand that. They don't react to whatever they just don't do it. Whereas cats, they will, for example, with cats especially, they will rub against you, purr, want to be near you. They will, be comfortable around you, be comfortable around you. But with dogs, it's like you just feed it and the dog will just be around you. And these dog mutters think just because they fed the dog loves them because the dog is around them. But no, they're just staying around them because one, it's the law, and two, the dog wants food. We want to know how to make sure your vet is up on the latest stuff. You can go to an online pharmacy and get the same exact drugs you would get from your vet to 10 to 20% off. Just because the food is premium price doesn't mean it's good stuff. Again, dogs don't care what they eat. Some veterinarian drugs have a generic version that's made for humans. Some veterinarian drugs have a generic version that's made for humans. If your vet believes it's safe an effective alternative, you can get it from a human pharmacy and pay 10 times less than you would pay for the animal version. But recognize there are legitimate reasons why generic might not be appropriate for your worthless mutt. And it's all about bank. Don't ever share your medicines with worthless mutt. Using aggressive training tactics can cause serious behavioral problems. It doesn't matter what you do. They're dogs. A lot of pet medications are available at human pharmacies for lower prices than what they charge. Buy a laser beam. Be careful. Dog's ugly. Be careful when washing your pets. Why? I know you mean, well, when you vigorously lather your dog with shampoo and vigorously rub him dry with the towel, but that can jam hairs under the skin like little splinters and cause horrible infections that are very painful. It's especially a problem for short-coated dogs like these worthless mutts. So basically, even showering these worthless mutts or bathing these worthless mutts can also be detrimental to them. So food is detrimental to them. Showing these dogs love is detrimental. Walking is detrimental. Being on public property is detrimental to these dogs. Washing them is detrimental. Brushing their teeth is detrimental. Like, everything about these dogs is a problem, either for you or for the dog. Brush your pet's teeth. Take your cat to the vet. We're talking about cats. Be realistic when buying a pet. But in this dog culture, they just want to sell dogs. They want everyone to have dogs. If that wasn't the case, why do they push the dog narrative so much? Why do they push dog narrative so much? When pet owners attack vets, article was made in 2020, July 29th. All too often, disgruntled pet owners takes to Facebook, Twitter, or other social media platforms to vent about how uncaring their vet has been, how they've been ridiculously overcharged, and how dare they have the audacity to continue to work. They paint a heartbreaking picture with their poor, defenseless, worthless mutt as the victim being exploited by the evil veterinarian who cares a little more than funding their next luxury purchase. They add, pitchforks are quickly gathered by the mob, and the veterinarian and their place of work are bombarded with hate-fueled emails, messages, phone calls, and in-person visits. Again, these dog nutters are very rude people. This does and has resulted in veterinarians and other staff members committing suicide. Man, this is dog culture for you. And these dog nuts will push these veterinarians to suicide. These dogs cause a lot of stress. They cause a lot of stress and a lot of problems. But again, society in general, dog nutters, they can't grasp and see how vile dogs are, how unimportant, how much of a problem dogs are. In this article, he's saying that, again, we're talking exclusively dog nutters. They will, email, send messages, phone calls. They will have in-person vents at these so-called animal dog doctors. And some of them of these vets, these dog doctors are committing suicide. And that's a poor reflection on this dog culture. We can talk about attacks every day because they happen every day. That as well is a poor reflection of this dog culture. But to have dog nutters, again, I'm not sure. I have never read articles about this, but I wouldn't be surprised if it does happen. But if it has happened, for dog nutters to push other people that, mean well for their worthless mutt, for the most part, I guess, and push them to committing suicide. that says a lot of negativity regarding this dog culture. It's not a good, healthy culture at all. It's not. What you might not know is that the veterinarian is actually not able to address any of the supposed facts against them. Bound by client confidentiality, this is the case even despite the fact that their client has chosen to go public. You won't read the fact that the client was abusive and threatening, that they already owed the veterinarian money. Treatment was actually completely consented and successful, but the owner just didn't want to pay. Dog nutters. The fact that a warning of a likely poor outcome was given, but when this came true, the client then felt they shouldn't have to pay. This is the toxic dog culture that I talk about. This is the dog culture that I say is vile, repulsive, rude, and disrespectful. Again, here are people. We'll assume that these people really do mean well for these worthless mutts. They're willing to help and help this worthless mutt get better. Do whatever treatment that needs to be done. And they're going to show them the bill. I mean, like, I'm sorry. But again, they're going to show them the bill. And these dog nuts, after they're helping their worthless mutt get better, they're gonna get nasty with them. But what I want to say as well is that, again, in dog culture, they don't do their research here. They don't realize that dog culture is nothing but a big business. It's all about money. Dogs have been exploited for money. Why do you think they had bull baiting? Or all the other, horrific dog activities we were doing in the past? It was for money. How do you go from killing these dogs, drowning them in the river, to all of a sudden you wanting everyone to own them? It's for money. These adoption places, shelters, vets, they do what they do for these dogs because it's about getting the money. And for you dog nuts to not know this and to think, the dog culture is such a perfect, sweet culture, it's so ignorant of you. It's arrogant of you to think that. And then you have some of you dog nuts, when your worthless mutt, gets a disease, gets one of these diseases, you take it to the vet, then you see the bill. Like, what do you expect? Dog culture is a scam. It's a scam. And these veterinarians, even though some of them might mean well, some of them may not mean to scam, but at the end of the day, these vets, particularly for dogs, it's a big scam. Big scam. Again, these dog nuts they'll blackmail them, they'll give bad reviews. How do you not know this? How do you not know this is about money? How do you not know that dogs are just there for money? And there's a website that shows that every breed has some type of physical or internal disorder about it. Like, man, again, it's so easy to fool these dog nutters. One dog owner has found out how badly social media ranting can backfire after one being ordered to pay over $30,000 in damages for defaming a vet on social media by claiming he was grumpy, took advantage of a distressed pet owner, and overcharged her for drugs given to her pet. So So they pretty much backfired. And this dogman had to pay over $30,000. $30,000. And I'm not sure about these suicides. Let's see. Dog owners push vets to suicide. Let's see if 400. This is dog culture. 26.2% of veterinarians have had the thought of suicide. And this has to be solely about dogs. Has to be. Suicides among veterinarians become a growing problem. It has to be about dogs. Like, what other culture would do such a thing? Only dog culture. And I say that with smug talk. Only dog culture can push people to suicide. Because these are the same people that will get their own children killed by dogs. That they'll get their neighbors' children killed by dogs. They'll get themselves killed by dogs. These people, these dogs have like no limits. They have no manners, no etiquette. Yeah, I couldn't find much stories, but I mean, there's a lot of articles about veterinarians, committing suicide. It has to go back to these dog nuts. It's not a good culture. It's not a good culture to be part of. Come on. Please bear with me. All right. Over 100. Guessing that's 100 pounds for dog eye cream, 400 pounds for pet haircut, over 200K pounds for veterinary and hospital visits, nearly 100,000. The owner exploited by eye-watering vet bills with some procedures not even covered on their insurance. Pet owners have told of being exploited by our eye-watering bills, including, I'm going to say, over 22,000 for veterinary and hospital visits and almost 10,000 for I'm not sure what this is, but I'm guessing it's I'm not sure what it's 100% what that is. Animals lovers told Mail Online that they are also being overcharged for medication with rising costs, including more than $100 for eye cream, over $400 for flea worm treatment. Again, look, flea worm treatment, dogs, it has to be dogs. Well, many treatments prove far more costly than insurance covers. So some of these people are paying insurance, but then certain insurance plans don't cover everything. So again, it's just part of the whole scam. Again, dogs. It's really about dogs. Surgeries costing over 9,000 pounds. Or euros. Sorry, euros. Euros or pounds. Comparison, animal lovers can find lower fees overseas. Excuse me, with a basic vet appointment for a cat costing over $23. I'm going to say I'm gonna say it's $23. I know it's probably euros or pounds, but I'm gonna say $23, $28, $54. This person was charged over 9,000. Another person, she was insured for only 4,000. $20,000. This person spending over 20,000 for care and treatment for a worthless mutt. So you can't say this is not a scam, man. This is not a scam. Because these dog lovers know if one dog lover isn't going to pay for it, there are more waiting in line that are willing to save their worthless mutt. So they could have these prices, but a lot of these dog nuts will literally die for their dog. They will go broke to save their dog. So these dog nuts having these high prices, it doesn't do them anything because they know that there are going to be dog lovers lined up ready to pay up. Because there's always going to be dogs around. There's always going to be these dogs around, man. Every person has a dog. Vet reveals the craziest things pet owners have done, and it's hard to believe that they have actually happened. My cat is making a funny sound. Foreign body removal, a magic trick. Again, dogs will eat anything. I think they want to eat a knife, needles, glass, balls, socks. Okay. Okay. This just looks senseless right now. And this is a good example. Like, some children can just feed these birds and pigeons fine without being, harmed. But you do that to dogs, they just attack you. They will attack you after feeding them. Does that make sense? Here, I'm going to feed you, but then you're going to attack me after feeding you? Does that make sense? And these are worthless mutts that can't even take care of themselves, but yet they're going to attack their food dispensers. Food market dog that bit its owner's face. This article kind of sucks. Excuse my language. Man. Whew. I'm sorry, these things take forever. I am going to take a little break. I gotta get some water. So I'm gonna take like 5 minutes to break and rest my throat for a second here. So I have a few more things I want to go over. So I will be back in maybe a few minutes.
Why be together right now?
All right. We're going to finish up with this subject. Here we are. Next story says, I'm not muted. I'm good. Scammers target animal lovers with injured dog posts. It's a news article.
Shows a photo of a dog outside found last weekend, but where's the snow?
Oh yeah, that's definitely not last weekend. Oh, see, that's so sad. Because of course you'd want to give.
We told Arjun Kataria about the scam.
This guy's a certified dog nutter.
It's sad to see that people are taking advantage of other people, like especially their sympathy.
Another red flag.
Targeting animal lovers.
The Better Business Bureau put out a warning in the fall about a scam on the rise in a local community and buy and sell Facebook groups. WCCO's Kirsten Mitchell shows us how sharing a post about an injured animal could hurt our wallets.
She's a 2.5-year-old English bulldog.
Arrow Zachritz loves spending time with his dog.
This is Tulip. Yeah, she's a big old meatball.
She's a big old deal on TikTok too. But it's the big hearts of animal lovers like Arrow scammers are trying to take advantage of.
No, these are fools. These are fools. Fools. There are many scams that go on, especially on your phone calls, text messages. And when you get bamboozled by it and you fall for it, no one says you're loving. No one says you're caring. They call you a fool for falling for these telephone scams, these text messages where they're saying, "Hey, you gotta donate money. You're something's wrong with your bank account." All these random messages, and some people will then just donate. Will just give their money, give their bank information, where they lose thousands of money, and people don't call them loving. They will call them fools. But when this happens to dog nutters, they don't want to use the term fool. They don't want to use the term stupid or dumb because that would sabotage their culture. That would put a bad image on their culture. So they use words like loving, even though that these people are fools. They're gullible and dumb. But take it away.
Across neighborhood groups on Facebook, fake posts are popping up about injured dogs or missing children. The scammers urge people to share the post with their friends, only to later edit the post with a malicious link or service.
It disheartens me to hear it, yeah, because I know that animal lovers are very giving and compassionate people too.
They're fools. They're fools. Another thing, that picture that they just showed, find it. I don't know. This looks like AI. To me, this looks like an AI generated picture. And that's another way that another tactic that can be used to fool these dog nutters. Because some of these dog nutters, they can't tell the difference between an AI generated picture from a real picture. Some of them can't tell. I'm on Facebook, and these dog nuts are posting AI posts and of dogs in like bad positions or whatever. Yet these dog nutters, even though the picture is AI generated, they feel sad for the dog. They make comments like they're talking to the dog. I don't have examples. I know I have them, but I'm not gonna bother show it. But there's a dog stuck in the highway, and it's like a rusty, crusty dog. These dogs will call and be like, "Hey, poor baby, I care for you." Things like that. When it's an obvious AI generated picture. But anyways.
Service.
It disheartens me to hear it, yeah, because I know that animal lovers are very giving and compassionate people too.
These scammers trick us into helping them.
Security expert Mark Lanterman says their goal is to steal money or personal information.
Your friends trust you, so they may take action on that ad that has now changed and not the ad that you intended to share.
So how can you tell if the post is fake? Here's two examples from local Facebook groups. Check the spelling. This one here spells Coon Rapids wrong, and this one shows a photo of a dog outside found last weekend,
But where's the snow?
Oh yeah, that's definitely not last weekend. Oh, see, that's so sad. Because of course you'd want to give.
We told Arjun Kataria about the scam.
It's sad to see that people are taking advantage of other people, like especially their sympathy.
Another red flag if the poster's profile was created recently.
Scammers always create new profiles.
Man, I don't know, like to fall for these scams on internet, man. In 2024, man, and to fall for them, you gotta be foolish. I remember this one time, I would say I admit I was a fool for doing this. It was like years ago, like over 10, 15, maybe 20 years ago. I think some of you have experienced, Windows, Microsoft Windows, contacting you about your PC and all this and all that. I was young and admit I was dumb, for allowing that to happen. Long story short, they called me, said there's something wrong with my computer. But like a fool that I was, I allowed them to have access to my computer. And the moment I realized, hey, they were controlling my computer, I shut that computer off right away. I hung up the phone. I hung up the phone right away. I shut down the computer right away. Immediately. I didn't give them any money. And luckily enough, I didn't lose any information or whatsoever. So, but still, whether that's long ago or now, anyone falling for these scams, it's foolish. I admit I was a fool for falling for these scams. But anyways.
Once their old profiles get banned by Facebook.
Scammers often use emotion and urgency, as heart-wrenching as their story may seem.
Think before you click.
In Minneapolis, Kirsten Mitchell, WCCO 4 News.
And if you come across a post like this, report it on Facebook. You can also file.
And dog owners don't think. They just do. They just do. And then when you give them valid information about these dogs, they deny it. So how come they don't want to think about that? When you let them know about certain things that these dogs do, they don't want to think about that. So telling a dog not to think it's why would they do that? Why would they do that? Makes no sense why they would all of a sudden want to think. But yeah, again, dog culture, a big scam. Very big scam. On this forum, some vets use your love to scam. What they have to say. Do you ever consider that what your vet meant was that there are people with money who won't lift a finger to save your worthless mutt because they can just buy another one? No, many vets that I know are full of it. They will get all your money they can, get all the money you can. Her words and tone said it all. You thought wrong because you weren't there. I know I was doing. I know what I was doing. Before you judge me with the last part of your comments, yada yada yada. But it's usually not the vet who does the scamming, but the owners that put them up to it. But again, it's the vet industry, dog industry. I'm not a fan of corporate-owned vet medicine. I work for a small 3-doctor vet practice. We have had relief vets come in and fill in for doctor vacations. Many of the relief vets have told us how they hate to work at the corporate-owned practices because their guidelines for practicing medicines supersides that the vets who fill in their diagnosis. It is important to find a vet you like and trust. So because they have guidelines for practicing medicine, supersize what the vets who, again, I'm getting. They also add, they are not in it for the money. So the vets that they go to, and they mentioned the cost of one of our blood machines is over $35,000. And dog nuts are willing to spend this much to save their worthless money. Yeah. There was another forum talking about vets being scammers. Is my vet trying to scam me? Yes, get a new vet. Sounds like a car salesman trying to sell you the undercarriage coating. Your vet is selling a product he gets a free if you buy it. Sorry, your vet is selling a product he gets a free if you're buying it. As contracted by the company, nothing new. They force science diet food, and please read what's in it. Would you eat it even if it's substandards? Of course, it's a scam. She's telling you to spend money on an animal that produces nothing. Vets always try to get you to buy everything. If I was you, find out what dogs are supposed to eat and read the ingredients, whatever is first, second, third. This person says, I reckon a new vet. You don't need people trying to sell you stuff you don't need. So it says you don't need a new vet. Just educate yourself. It's probably a scam. The vet will always try to sell you products for a decent profit margin. It's a dog. That said, you do what you feel you need to do in regards to the specialty food. If the vet does a good job, then continue going and just ignore their offers, because I'm not sure a new vet will change anything. Again, all of them are just scammers. They are all scammers. I mean, if vets are part of the dog industry, and the dog industry is a big scam. So even if you don't own a dog and you're a vet, you're part of the scam. You're what's fueling the scam. You're the one that's keeping dogs alive to keep the scam going. So vets definitely are scammers. They are people. I mean, for natural animals, yes, we need them for natural animals, but we don't need them for dogs. And the vets you see in your neighborhood are not, I doubt that they're the vets that look after natural animals. Most of what's coming in, it's usually dogs. It has to be usually dogs. And we don't need dogs. But again, that's where they make their money. It's actually the vets themselves trying to sell me stuff, not the nurses, which concerns me even more. They say now for the past 2 years, there are new vets who always do this to me. But again, end of the day, it is a scam. And the question was, my vet trying to scam me? Are vets scammers? And the answer is yes, they are. They are scammers. How about this one? Do vets run too many tests to rack up your bill? The irrelevant vet speaks out, and I would say yes. Just like in this story, this person was spending a lot of money trying to figure out what's wrong with their dog. Like almost had to spend over $12,000. But then they spend $7,000 to fix the dog. So she was bamboozled, basically. Bamboozled. I've heard it more than once. Okay, let's be real. I hear it consistently, especially when people don't think I can hear them. Vets are greedy. No, obviously. Veterinarians are money focused. That's what it's about. That's what it's about. And these people, they have to eat too, you know. And I think and I'm pretty sure some of them are willing to exploit these dogs and these dog nutters so that they can eat. All veterans care about is getting rich. They want to get every last penny out of you. I've heard so many accusations, in particular, that vets run too many tests on their patients just so they can rack up pet bills and make some extra cash. Is this really what's going on? And if so, what can you do about it? Stop owning dogs. It's like, duh. Stop owning dogs when you don't have to go to these vets. Here's the truth, like it or not. Before I go any further, let me introduce myself. Anyways, yada yada yada. And some of the stuff that she has to say is controversial, but it doesn't stop me. Yeah, right. So, and the question is, are some veterinarians greedy? And the answer is yes. Do some vets run more tests than absolutely necessary or required? And the answer is yes. Here is the honest truth, and I wish it wasn't like this. Just like with any profession, there are good and bad in it. But there's a lot of bad in the dog culture, in the dog industry, I should say. I have to say, after interacting with people in thousands of different professions, vets are pretty darn good people in general. Most veterinarians I've met over their careers are honest, fair, and kind. They want only the best for the pets they treat. However, there are definitely some bad apples. Even with some profession, people are paid on different scales. If you ask me, that's a big part of the problem with over-testing. As a veterinarian over the years, I've been paid in nearly every method possible. I've earned my keeps as an hourly employee, a salaried employee, and as a production-based employee. And the last one means that a vet is paid on a percentage of what they do or the total of their invoices. Being on production is sort of like being on commission. Other vets are paid on an hourly wage only, yet are paid on a salaried basis. And still others are paid on an hourly base plus production. So this means that if they're on a production or whatever, they're going to do their best to sell things to dog nutters. They're going to do their best to keep this dog sick as much as possible. They're going to talk nice, talk a good game, sound nice, sound polite, sound like you really love dogs. And the owners, again, these dog owners are very gullible. They'll believe it. They'll believe the nonsense. They'll believe the show, and they'll give in. And they'll do test after test after test, spending thousands to 10,000 to 20,000 to 50,000 for a worthless month. And it just never stops. But again, so in the vet industry, the ways that these veterinarians will get paid is either by salary, by hourly, or by production or commission. And they want to see the money. They want money. Like any career, you want to see money going in. But in dog culture especially, they are going to scam you. They're going to lie to you. But that's all part of this dog culture, is to lie and create excuses. So apparently there are fake or unqualified individuals posting as veterinarians. We just read in a recent post that you don't even have to you don't have to go to school to be a veterinarian. So I don't know what's up with that. And the negative effects of seeking a unqualified veterinarian would be improper treatment, financial loss, emotional distress, public trust and reputation, legal and regulatory consequences. It's dog culture, man. That is dog culture. And I know we touched base on suicide. But again, here's an article regarding vets and suicide. You're always going to be the failing. You're always going to be failing somebody, especially these dog nutters. Because these dog nuts, they care so much for their worthless mutt. Man, they are not going to be okay with your best. They want their dog to be 100%. They want their dog to be healthy. They care more about their dog than themselves. So again, a lot of these dog nuts, the way they present themselves is so chaka-chaka. While their dogs are presented a lot better than what they are presented as. Suicide rates among vets are staggering. The crisis is dire, but there are many there may be hope in sight. Last summer, 36-year-old veterinarian named Andrea Kelly stopped by a Quebec horse stable to check on a pair of 1-month-old fowls and had a friendly visit with the farm staff. 3 days later, she was dead. Her death was by suicide. It made headlines in Canada and everywhere and elsewhere, sparking stories about the alarming mental health crisis in the veterinarian community. So this person checked on horses and then killed herself. Also in 2021, 33-year-old also died by suicide. Another 27-year-old took his life in 2014. Another one took her life after months of being harassed and bullied by a pet owner. That same year, Sophia Yen, a pioneering animal behaviorist and renowned expert in the veterinary community, died by suicide at 48. They had nearly 400 veterinarians have died by suicide as of 2019. They say you're supposed to be in this to save animals, not kill them. And it should be a hard thing to do, to have to watch and put horses, cats, hamsters, rabbits to sleep, snakes to sleep, all those other animals to sleep. But it should be hard. I could imagine, having so many animals, cats, rabbits in your care where there's not enough space. Where they've been there for a while and no one wants to adopt them. And one by one you have to put them to sleep. That is hard, man. That is hard. That is hard, man. But again, but when it's to have to put these dogs to sleep, we should all do it with a smile on our face, and be grateful that the world is with one less dog. One less dog, because we do not need these worthless mutts. These dogs don't even like themselves. That's how worthless they are. Last couple of things. Scammers are targeting animal lovers with photos of lost, hurt pets. A new breed of scammers are targeting animal lovers by gauging interest in how they react to pictures of lost and injured animals. Scammers post pictures of forlorn dogs to determine their viewers' vulnerability to future scams. Officials said sharing these suspicious posts makes the social media users such a target for future scams. Scammers use this technique to identify people who may be vulnerable to other scam methods. Agency's officials said in their notice, scammers are looking for people who like or share without checking to see if it's true. And with dog culture, they don't do their research. Dog nuts don't do their research. They base everything on emotions. They base everything on the dog's action, and they put a label to that to justify it because it makes them feel good. This dog culture is not about facts. If it is about facts, it's very tiny, a tiny irrelevant speck. What this dog culture is about, it's about feelings and emotions. And these scammers, the vets, the dog industry, dog culture, they're able to use and manipulate and exploit the dog nuts' emotions because they know that they're emotional. They know that their emotion drives them to do what they do for dogs. They don't do what they do for dogs for fact. They don't do that. They do it because it makes them feel good. It makes them feel a certain way. It doesn't have to be a good feeling. It just has to be a feeling that makes them a certain way, where it stimulates them to want to be around dogs even more. Some of these pit bull nutters are some of they just look so unpresentable, so chaka. And the way they talk to these bully breeds and pit bulls and etc. It's like, are you happy with your life? The way they treat them, are you really happy with your life? But there just has to be something about these dogs that makes them feel, a certain way. So again, it's dog culture, the scam. It's about, being able to abuse these dog nutters, manipulate, exploit these dog nutters because they are highly emotional. I mean, you can make an AI picture of a dog in the worst condition, and a lot of dog nutters will accept it and believe it. They will accept it and they will believe it. Let's see if I can find the AI generator that I use. It's pretty simple to use. And we're gonna see how easy it is to just scam these dog nutters. It's really easy. Tell them what they want to hear. Make it sound emotional. Is this the right one? This is not the right one. I'm sorry. It's not the one I wanted. I'm trying. Here it is. Copy. It is so easy to fool the dog nutter. It is so easy to that was from before. To fool the dog nutter. Let's see. Let's see if I can do this. Dog in desperate need. Let's see what we get. See what we get here today. So we're just waiting for it to load. Why it's taking so long? Yeah, I'm not sure why it's taking so long. So the other site wasn't working. I'm using this site I also use. I like that one better. So I wrote in dog in desperate need, and you get pictures like this. And dog nutters will look at some of these pictures and think these are real. They will look at it and say, like, this is real. I think the dog is being this is real. You know? These are probably not the best dogs in desperate need pictures, but again, dog nutters will think some of these pictures are real. Let's say dog hurt. Let's see, dog hurt. Yeah, see that. Again, I really don't like this sign. It's crayon. I don't like this site because some of the things they put here is like really garbage. Dog, let's say we chained up. Yeah. Some of these pictures are obviously unrealistic. That's not what I was looking for. Yeah, so again, some of these scammers can use pictures like this, and dog nutters will think it's real. They can't tell the difference. See, dog hurt. Some of this time it's hit and miss with these pictures. Yeah. They'll think this is real. Some of them will actually think it's real. Actually think it's real. So I put dog hurt, and getting this is not what I want. Dog, see, dog, maybe dog abused. You'll get something. Dog being abused. These pictures are just not the best. I put dog being a dog abused, but again, these pictures that have nothing to do with dogs being abused. Dog, see, dog bleeding. Let's see if I get something. Sometimes it's trial and error. These pictures. See, I put dog bleeding. We don't. Again, it's trial and error. It also depends on the website that you use. Some of these are just awful. Or I say dog bleeding, but you see no dog here bleeding. How about this dog? Last one I do, dog dying. Let's see what I get. Yeah, these pictures are awful. But again, you know, for most part, if I use another type of website, you probably get like a lot better pictures than these ones. But again, these are what the scammers are using nowadays, because they know that they can play with the minds of these dog nutters because they're so easy. But again, these are not good examples whatsoever. Again, just another article of, you know, of these dog scams going on, about rehoming scams, and, you know, dog rescue scams. It's all part of the dog industry, all part of it. So yeah. Again, with this thing, it's a hit and miss. Let's see. Guy. Let's see if I put guy walking to. No, let's see, because they weren't showing dogs bleeding. Let's see, man bleeding. Let's see if they're gonna show a man bleeding. All this dog nuttery is real. They can't even show dogs being hurt. So they can show a man bleeding. Show man bleeding. Man, how about man being abused? See what they see. Let's see what we're gonna see. Yeah, I really don't like this crayon site because these pictures are just so bad. Yeah, sorry, these pictures are awful. These are awful. Let's see. Man hurt. Yeah, I'm sorry. These pictures are garbage. But I hope you guys know what I mean. Some of you probably know how to use these better than I do. Have better sites that do produce better AI generated images. Again, the question is, are vets scammers? And the answer is yes. They are scammers. And obviously not all of them are, out there to make money. Not all of them are going to lie. I know that. But I'd say a lot out there are scammers. A lot out there, require your dog to be sick, require your dog to be hurt in order to make money. They require to lie to you, to get you to pay for medication, pay for tests and surgery, even when your dog doesn't even need it. Again, their whole aim is to make money. This dog culture, it went from treating dogs like trash to now, it's a $1 trillion industry. And of course, back in the day, they had to lie about these dogs. They had to say dogs are man's best friend. Dogs are loyal. Dogs can do this and do that. All of a sudden now, we all have to like dogs now because they bring in the money. The dog culture is nothing but a business. And these dog lovers, they think dog culture is just a culture. They think it's just, being, loyal to dogs or liking dogs. It's not just about that. It's about the money. It's about the bank. It's about having stupid dog owners. Because they can't make bank without stupid dog owners. They need stupid dog owners to make money. They need sick dogs. They need over, 44 million dogs in the U.S. They need that so they can keep making money. The vets, the corporate vet industries, they need the money. It's not only with vets, but any other scammer out there using either AI generated dogs, fake dogs, real dogs. Doesn't matter. They can easily make some bank off of dog lovers, because dog lovers, they don't function on a fact-based. Sure, they might do that in other things like in school, but when it comes to dogs, they don't function on a fact base. They function on emotions. They function on dominance. They function on something that the dog does that makes them feel a certain way. That's how they function. That is how they function. For them, it's not about the facts. It's about what makes them feel good. It's about what makes them feel good. And any person can come along and say anything about a dog, and these dog nuts will donate their money. They'll try to rescue these dogs. There are plenty scammers, especially like in Asia, Asian countries, where they will have a dog tied up on the train track, and they'll be filming it. Like they'll literally be filming it. They're so far from where the dog is, and they're filming it. And they're filming them untie the dog and saving the dog, and then they're gonna ask for donations. All those dog rescue videos, I'm gonna say all of them are just fake. They're all fake. A lot of these GoFundMes are fake, just used to make some money. All about the money. So again, are vets scammers? Yes, because they themselves, whether they mean well for these dogs or not, they themselves, they play a part. They play a role in this dog culture. They're the ones that can keep dogs alive. Help keep dogs alive. They're the ones that can keep pit bulls alive so they can end up mauling someone. Pit bulls are found, malnourished out in the woods sometimes, or in sheds. They bring them to the vet, and the vet, helps them get better. So the vets help these dogs attack people. These vets play an important role in this dog culture. So yes, they are scammers. Yes, they are. I'll say even go as far as they are pretty awful people. I'm sure they save a lot of other animals, natural animals, but they're wasting time and energy and resources on dogs when we do not need them. They don't even want to be here. Dogs don't want to be here. They're always running loose everywhere. They don't know where they are. Always needing help from someone. They don't want this. They don't want to be here, so let's put them to sleep. Put these dogs to sleep. Hope this video makes sense. I know there's a lot of discrepancies about the video, especially with the AI stuff. Some of it's just hit and miss. Like, it works sometimes, doesn't work other times. But that's just how it goes. But anyways, I am Gore the Dog Butcher with another Worthless Mutts. And please remember that it's okay to hate dogs.